Alright, so what I have here is a 2002 Toyota Corolla, and what's really common with these cars is along the windows here, the trim starts to get old. You know, you can even see dirt that's built up inside of it. And I have cut with this box cutter. I've cut off this. It seems to be rubber. It really depends. Some cars have plastic on them. But what I'm doing is I'm cutting down here, and then I'm gonna kind of just make my own line, like up here. So literally what I'm just doing is I'll take a box cutter, and it helps to get up above so you can see where you're cutting, and you can make sure it's like a straight line. You don't want to go too far in, because what you'll wind up doing is there is like a gap. There we have this metal bar here, and then beyond that there's rubber kind of between these two areas, so you want to make sure your cut is still riding on the metal rail, and it's just straight, which it can take a couple passes to make something straight, but you should be able to get it if you have a patient hand. I'm sure many different people would have different approaches to this, but for me, what I'm looking for is something that's inexpensive and really practical. I don't want to spend more than a couple days working on this because I have more important stuff to do. So what I plan to do with this part is actually just to like improve it aesthetically. So I'm going to take a blade and I'm just going to cut off the tips of these two teeth right here, just to make it look like it's flat. And you know, if you have really tough rubber, what I'd recommend is using a 50-50 solution of isopropyl alcohol, 70% isopropyl alcohol and water, and that seems to do the trick in softening it up. It's kind of hard to do. I'm left-handed, but it's hard to do this while holding a camera, so please be kind, but let's see if I can show you. Alright, so, you know, this was already open. It's not like I'm opening the seal of the car to anything new. This was already open and accessible by the elements, so I don't think I'm sacrificing any functionality with this kind of aesthetic adjustment. But yeah, I'm just going along here. I previously went through this with some isopropyl, and you know, so it is a little bit softer. It's amazing how soft it gets sometimes. You have something that's supposed to withstand the weather, but as soon as you put a different solvent on it, it quite easily dissolves. Alright, just carefully cutting along, you know, and then, so I'll stop right here, explain what I'm going to do. We have relatively good trim here. You know, there's a slight patch here. The main thing that I'm going to do is just try and make it blend into the edge, so that way it seems less obvious that I've cut this off. But it definitely looks better than the like cracking old parts of this. Now afterwards, I'm going to take a toothbrush. I'm going to dip it in 70% isopropyl alcohol, and I'm going to rub it along here. And what it's going to do is it's going to slightly melt the rubber, and it's going to soften up the edge. You know, a lot of this is just a matter of patience, being willing to take some time, but it works pretty well. You can see my blade's getting all gunked up, but still is cutting. It's a fresh, what you definitely want is a fresh box cutter blade. Otherwise you're going to be, well, with the rubber it's pretty easy, but down here, because you're going into metal, the blade will quickly dull, and you want something that's relatively new, just to save yourself a headache. And then I guess just the last bit here, and done. Yeah. So this project is one of several I've been working on. Actually, this is a used car, obviously, has about 150,000 miles on it. And so, you know, nothing's going to be perfect. I just want it to be a little bit more presentable so that it can be used in a more professional setting than, you know, just going to college or whatever, driving to college. Anyway, this is pretty smooth down. The isopropyl is definitely going to kind of relax the look a little bit. Now to kind of make this more consistent with the rest of the rubber, I'm gonna like do this at an angle more so that it's more curved, and that way it saves me more saves me work when I need to use the isopropyl to soften it up a bit. But you know, that's pretty much it.